All right, let's do this. Football season is back, baby. Quick shout outs, real quick. 27 Junkies Clothing, 27 Junkies Family, and of course, Taco Junkies. If you're in the Southern California area, Los Angeles, i.e., Orange County, make sure you hit up my brother Burst at Burst Rock on his IG, or at Taco Junkies. Best tacos you'll ever have. If you're in the Arizona area, Yuma perhaps, make sure you hit up my brother Burst Rock 27 Junkies on IG, or Taco Junkies if you're in the Yuma area. So shout out to 27 Junkies, shout out to Taco Junkies, and a big shout out to NV Vince for this super dope LA Rams hat right here. Super dope. Appreciate it. Rocking it. Let's get to it. So, the moment of truth is here, right? A lot of people have questioned Sean McVay and Les Snead for drafting Ty Simpson. Here we go. I am not, if you paid attention to some of the past show, the draft episode, you'll know I didn't take no issues with it whatsoever. There was quite a few Rams fans that took issue with the Rams drafting Ty Simpson over, let's say, a Makai Lemon. And I get it. But it's like, at what point, if you're a Rams fan, do you start using common sense? And I'm talking to those that every year you start questioning decisions that Les makes. You start questioning decisions that Sean McVay makes. You start questioning these decisions that they make. When you're sitting back on your sofa trying to be a sofa GM or a sofa head coach, at what point do you stop questioning them? And this is a real legitimate question, because every year is the same old thing with some of these Rams fans. It's like they don't use common sense and they don't use logic. I don't know what it is that makes them feel like they can question these guys. These guys have a track record of proving Rams fans wrong, and a lot of people wrong. We've seen it. So that's why I raised the question: when does it stop? When do Rams fans? Not all of them. Let me make this very perfectly clear. Not all of them. But there's a lot of Rams fans. You go through the IGs, or you go through the Facebooks, or you go through the X's, or whatever, the Twitter, whatever you call it. When you start to go through all the social media platforms, you start looking at all these comments. You see a bunch of fans questioning decisions that these guys make. It's like, at what point do you stop questioning the decisions that these guys make? At what point? It makes no sense to me whatsoever why anybody would question these guys. This isn't the old regime. Sean McVay has proven it year in and year out. Les Snead has done the same. So why is drafting Ty Simpson any different? It shouldn't be any different, but somehow it is. So let's get to today. The young man balled. I get it. It was against second string, third string, fourth string guys. I get it. It's not about the wins and the losses, because the wins and the losses, I personally, when preseason, I don't care about it. I'm evaluating what I see on the football field. My main focus today, and I'll worry about the other two preseason games and worry about the rest of the team. Not to say that I'm not worried about it right now, but for today's episode, I had an agenda to talk about Ty Simpson. Good, bad, or indifferent. So let's talk about it. How did he look in the pocket? How did he look in the pocket? He threw for 2 touchdowns. Yes, he did. He threw for over 100 some odd yards. Yes, he did. A lot of it were dinks and dunks. Yes, they were. But let's ask ourselves, how did he look in the pocket? How did he look? He looked poised, if you ask me. He looked like he had control of the offense. He looked like he had full command of the offense. Which leads me to believe, which leads me to know that the Rams made the right decision in drafting him. Because you have to prepare for the future at some point. Like I said before, if we have aspirations on winning the Super Bowl, ain't no way we're going to pick in the top 10, 15 next year or the year after. There's no plan. So where are you going to get your quarterback from? So they had a perfect opportunity to draft a quarterback then, and they did. And here's the end result of this. Look at how that young man looked in that pocket. Again, I don't want to focus too much on Stetson Bennett today. I'll worry about that next week and the week after. But just like I did last season with Stetson Bennett and gave Stetson Bennett all the praise, because Stetson Bennett was a focal point coming off of the year in which he didn't play. He took a year off. So last year, Stetson Bennett was the focal point, at least from my perspective and looking at things. This year for me, it's Ty Simpson again. And I say Ty Simpson because a lot of you Rams fans seem to think that you guys are smarter than the GM and the head coach, and act like you know what's best for this football team. You clearly don't. See, you can sit back on your sofa, on your couch, in your man cave, and do all the wolfing and do all the talking and do all the bumping your gums and typing and all this other stuff, right? From a distance. But you ain't in that front office or those sidelines making those types of decisions. And the last I checked, Sean McVay and Les Snead have a high success rate. So maybe this right here, maybe looking at Ty Simpson in this preseason game, and I get it, it's a preseason game, but this is the time you get to evaluate guys. If you're not at the training camps, if you're not at the practices every day, to see how they're performing on an everyday basis. If you're somebody that's like me, either one, moved out of state like I did, I moved out of state, or two, you're not from California, you're not from the Los Angeles area, you're a Rams fan, born and raised in another city and state, and you follow this team, this is the only opportunity you actually get a chance to see these guys. So for me, when I'm looking at this preseason game, I'm looking at his poise in the pocket. I'm looking at his command, how he's controlling the offense, how he's getting in and out of huddles. It's pretty crisp if you ask me. It's pretty crisp. It just seemed like he just had full control over everything. And I can imagine maybe next week's preseason game, maybe the last preseason game, maybe they, you know, make him throw for deeper balls. But I mean, he hit his targets when he. I mean, the guy was efficient today. The guy was efficient, and he got guys involved, not just in the shotgun, but also underneath the center. I'm extremely excited for this young man. Um, I'm extremely excited for this football team and its future, especially me growing up as a Rams fan. I remember I remember the Tony Bankses that we drafted. I remember those guys. I remember us bringing in an aging Chris Miller, an aging Nick Foles. I remember these guys. I remember these guys just, the front office just trying to get guys that would fit, or just trying to get guys to build this roster. But none of those guys were brought in to help kind of like help build a winning culture. I know guys are going to mention Sam Bradford, but I think Sam Bradford's situation was a totally different situation from others. And I know he's another quarterback that gets a lot of bad rap, but I've said this before in the past and I'll say it again. That man had no offensive line when he came to the Rams and he was drafted by the Rams. He had no offensive line. And I can't put those things on him. Ty Simpson right now has a team, has a head coach. He's part of an organization that's structured. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the next season, to the future. I'm looking forward to see what this man does with the ones. What he eventually does with Puka Nacua on the football field, or whoever our number 2 and number 3 receivers are by the time he takes over. I have no question. I have no question in my mind, no doubts in my mind that Les and Sean are going to put this kid in a position where he will be successful. 100%. And I look forward to it. Again, I understand he threw for 2 touchdowns today. He almost had about 200 something yards throwing. Again, a lot of them were dinks and dunks, but it's in the manner of how he hit his targets, how he got his guys involved, how he controlled the offense, his poise in the pocket, taking the snap at shotgun or under center. I thought he looked excellent today. I thought he looked excellent. Excellent. And I can't wait to see more. I'm gonna be as real as I always am. You will never hear me say anything to try to garner negative attention, or for clickbait, or just to be like one of these negative. I ain't gonna sit here and try to be negative for people just to try to get their attention, just to get some likes, just to get some follows, just to get some subscribers and some comments. I'm not gonna do all that stuff. I'm gonna keep it a buck, and I'm gonna be real with you, based off of what I see and using this. So if you like what you hear, if you like my content, hit that like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next episode. I'm out. Let's go Rams.